Welcome to Solitude everyone, my name is Liam and in this video I'll be taking you through some of WA's current pop punk and emo bands that I really like. Pop punk and emo are two genres that are personal favourites of mine. Despite these types of music having stronger pasts than futures, the fans continue to appreciate great new music in these underground scenes. America has recently given us great pop punk acts like The Story So Far and The Wonder Years, as well as producing that new type of Midwest emo with the likes of Modern Baseball and Tiny Moving Parts, bringing light to that scene. Australia continues to appreciate the likes of the Smith Street Band and Luca Brasi, while producing new pop punk heroes like Stan Atlantic and yours truly. In this video, I'll be taking you through some of WA's best emo and pop punk bands. The current underground scene here in Perth is thriving with new cool bands, so please take some notes and give these bands a spin after you finish this video on Spotify. Also, the 10 bands on this list are in no particular order, and I will be giving some honourable mentions at the end as well. Let's jump right into it. Last Lions. Hailing from the southern suburbs of Perth, this young band are one of the hardest working in the local scene. Playing show after show, they continue to grow a healthy fan base. Their sound is akin to that of Aussie emo heavyweights, the Smith Street Band, with a touch of Arctic Monkeys or the Kooks energy. They've gone through a few lineup changes and are still young, but I reckon a breakout release is on the horizon. Maybe a few more plays on Triple J, and adding to their growing list of support slots with bands such as Wax and Luca Brasi, and we'll be hearing a lot more of them in the future. Next up we have Trigger Lip, another young up-and-coming emo band with a sound comparable to Moose Blood and Trophy Eyes. Their greatest achievement to date would be supporting Citizen and Turnstile on their Perth show. Trigger Lip play plenty of local shows and have been played once on Triple J Breakfast as an unearthed spotlight. After a few more spins on Triple J, I could see this band getting more national attention due to their relatable songs and emotional delivery. Nautical Mile. One of the more successful pop punk bands going around in Perth right now, this local band have an album under their belt and a healthy streaming audience. They have also toured nationally and have a strong presence in the local music scene here in WA. Adopting more of a bubblegum pop punk sound, much like Neck Deep, this band embraces their style and owns it with their performance and social media presence. If any of these bands could find a lot more success without Triple J, I'd have Nautical Mile as a frontrunner due to their catchy, all-encompassing sound. Carrington. This DIY pop punk band from Perth have been carving out a presence for a while in the local scene. Their song Into the Graphite was added to a Skate Park Punk's playlist on Spotify, which has propelled their streaming game ahead, with plenty of new followers on that platform. Adopting a sound comparable to The Story So Far, the band continue to grow a local fan base also as they play plenty of shows and regularly release new music. Next up we have Shangrila. With a pristine sound and an emotional delivery of their songs, Shangers have carved out the potential for growth Australia-wide. Their sound could translate to more airtime on Triple J, with similarities to Slowly Slowly and Luca Brasi. Their streaming game is pretty strong with a couple of their songs on six-figure streams, and moving up. Check out their video for their song Happy, starring a puppy dog as the main character, and a top comment from Johnny Knoxville? Fade Away. Fade Away are another post-hardcore band getting traction in the underground scene. They take influence from bands like Citizen and Basement with that neo-grunge sort of sound. Their following may not be as large as some of the other bands on this list, but their releases have impressed me to this point. Usually their songs touch on themes of suburban life in WA, anxiety and loneliness. Their music has the potential to connect with listeners on a personal level, which I really love. Keep your eye out for this band as they continue to grow in the local scene. Flower Mouth. This band have been at it for a while now, first releasing an EP in 2015. They have continued to release solid singles consistently and have a growing presence in Perth. They sound slightly more radio friendly than some of the other bands on this list, drawing influence from Foo Fighters and Goo Goo Dolls. Their easier on the ear sound could translate to more listeners soon, with Triple J liking their 2018 song Gown enough to put it on a Spotify Unearthed playlist. Next up we've got Home State. Formerly known as Available at the Counter, this Perth pop punk band brings the feels with a State Champs or Neck Deep sort of vibe. They've been carving out a presence in the local scene for a while now and have a strong but small following. One of their latest tracks, Happy, has almost hit 6 figures on Spotify and could translate to more streaming success in the future. Cellophane. This is another band that have been around for a while, but one that I really respect. They have an excellent EP under their belt and some strong singles that go with it. Their greatest achievement would be supporting Basement and The Story So Far on their Perth show. We haven't heard much from them lately, but hopefully more post-hardcore neo-grunge sounding releases are not too far off from this band. Their song Leech got a little bit of attention on Triple J Unearthed, but that's about all I've really reached on a commercial level. And lastly, I want to touch on Alex the Kid. This local punk band shot onto the big stage in 2016 when they won the Triple J Unearthed comp to open for One Night Stand in Geraldton. Like many bands from the local towns that host these events, it ended up just being 15 minutes of fame, and they went back to local punk band pretty quickly. They are signed to an independent Aussie punk label called P Records, and have a solid LP and EP under their belts. I'd say their sound is a good mix of Australiana punk, much like the Smith Street Band, and that old school sort of skater punk sound. They have all moved from Geraldton down to Perth, and play plenty of local shows, so check them out. So that's the 10 that I wanted to touch on for great emo and pop punk bands in Perth. Obviously there's a few more around, and I'm going to give a couple of shout outs here. So in a previous video I have spoken about Sly Withers. They're obviously one of the bigger ones, but I want to give some more time and attention to some of the other bands. If you're looking for some more emo bands in Perth, we've got Dear Soldier, Fever Mind, and Tree Houses, with a really cool spoken word part to them as well. If you're looking for the more female vocal side, we have that too here in Perth. Hell Average and the Wolfbats are good representations of that. For the more sort of old school punk, obviously I've spoken about the Decline in previous videos, so they deserve a mention. The Bob Gordons and also Blind Spot are good representations of that sound too. But I'm sure there'll always be plenty more pop punk and emo bands to come in the future. Despite commercially this genre getting smaller and smaller with its popularity, the underground scene always seems to stay strong. Have a look in the video description and you'll find a link to a Spotify playlist with songs from the bands in this list. If you like this video and you want to see more content about Australian and West Australian music, please subscribe to this channel and I'll put some more videos up for you.